This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world.
I'm Bruce.
And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Bruce, what's up?
Jody,
How are you?
I'm good. It's been an action-packed week or so. Yeah.
It was and it wasn't for me too. It was busy.
Yeah. It's been an interesting week. I'll start with the strangest thing that happened to me.
Yes, please.
Just to get this out of the way because it's been on my mind all week.
Oh boy.
So my kids started back to school, my youngest, they go back at different days because they're all in different grades. My youngest had not started on the day that my oldest had, and then the middle one was with some friends. And so I took the little guy, and we went to get some ice cream. So we go to this ice cream place, and we get our ice cream. We're sitting down, just kind of doing our thing, talking, whatever.
Yeah.
This lady walks in, and she goes up to order, and she kind of keeps looking back at us, and she's smiling, and she's making comments, and I can tell that they're aimed toward us, saying, that's cute. You guys are so, little things like that.
Yeah.
I can't quite make out everything that she's saying because she's not turning and like looking directly at us. She'll look back, smile. You can tell it's nice, it's kind, and so she continues ordering.
You're a celebrity. She was recognizing a celebrity.
Maybe that was it.
Okay.
Something tells me no.
Oh, okay.
After after how this conversation ends. So, we're sitting there, and she places her order, and she sort of turns around. She mumbles something, then she looks back at me, and she looks at my 5-year-old, and she says, "Is that your grandbaby? Is that your grandbaby?" It caught me by surprise so much that I couldn't form any kind of response. And I kind of looked at her, and my brain was processing this. And I kind of just went, and
Wow.
And then she looked at me, and she had her ice cream and got the hell out. So I don't know if maybe after she said it, she realized.
Or maybe you made quite the face.
Maybe. Yeah, because she was out.
I was like, what'd you say?
Yeah, right. That's like.
No. I mean,
I don't. I am getting older.
Older, yes.
But
not grandbaby older?
I'm not at the grandbaby level yet. Well, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not there.
I mean, in a alternative universe.
Yes. Is it possible?
It's
Yes. It's possible. But
babies having babies.
Yes, but it's not. That's not happening.
Grandpa Bruce.
Yeah. So I had to go and take a long, hard look in the mirror to see if there was.
Well, I was talking about how this gray patch in my beard all of a sudden is a lot bigger than I remember it because I've let it grow out.
Right.
So maybe there's a little more grays in your beard when you grow it out. So I don't know, maybe that.
Yeah. Maybe
what ice cream were you eating? Pistachio? Or
what was I eating? It was
like old man.
No,
ice
I mean
cream?
it was like Reese's peanut butter cups or something. I don't know, something with not anything with like Werther's original or
Werther's.
Nothing. A nice toffee or something.
Right. You were just gumming your ice cream.
Did you saw the lights blink in here?
I did. I was like, hello.
I hope we're still recording. I mean, it still looks like everything.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was strange.
I know.
It everything blinked like it all went out and came right back on.
I think it was just like this one, or maybe it was something outside. Who knows? All right. Well, we're still here. Well, I'm glad it wasn't just me that blacked out for a split little second.
I had to be sure that maybe the old age thing
was coming in.
It's actually happening.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could share a weird thing that happened to me.
Please.
I went to the doctor. I wanted to finally get a sleep test done to see if I need to get a CPAP machine, which I'm pretty sure I do. So, they do your height and your weight and blah, blah, blahs, and they ask you all these questions. And she goes, well, I don't know. She didn't say congratulations. That was me afterwards. She's like, so, well, according to this, you're morbidly obese.
Ah,
I was like, oh, well, okay. And
congratulations.
she's like, well, the good thing is that because of that, your insurance will pay for everything because it's like, a health concern related,
Right.
whatever. So, like later that day, I called my mom and I was like, well, Mom, guess what?
It's happened.
I am officially morbidly obese.
I see.
So thanks for that too.
Yes.
Thanks for the
Mom.
high blood pressure. Thanks for the sleep apnea, for the morbid
yeah.
obesity.
Yeah.
What else? Thyroid, something.
So, are you going to do a sleep study soon? Is that like the next step?
forgot after I was like, oh, I have a thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I was supposed to reach out to them if they didn't reach out to me today. So
Yes.
but I forgot to do that.
The sleep study.
But it is going to be a take home thing.
Okay.
Because I was like, do I have to go try to sleep in some basement?
Yeah.
Of a creepy hospital.
So I did that. I've done 2 sleep
I was
studies.
like, I don't want to do that.
My very first one was in the basement of a creepy hospital.
Yeah.
But it was the best night of sleep I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
The second one was a couple of years ago when they weren't doing them in hospital because of the pandemic. And so they gave me the kit to bring home, and it was a horrible night of sleep. But that was also after many years of me using a CPAP. So they're trying to see, where things were at and how they would need to change my...
So did you use the CPAP while you had the thing?
I
on, or
didn't.
No?
They said don't use it.
To see what your
See where you're at, your
base level,
baseline.
whatever.
Yeah. So it was horrible. And I'm a CPAP evangelist at this point. And for many years, I've said this, and it's like when I don't use it, if I sleep without it, which probably a handful of times in the last 10 years, it's like having a hangover. It's like having you get a headache, you feel awful.
Well, yeah, I've been having all these weird symptoms, and I wasn't sure what was going on. And then my mom was like, "Did you ever get a CPAP machine?" I was like, "Oh my god, I totally forgot about doing that."
Yes.
So here's to working on getting your health in order.
It's nice having all that stuff. You have all that stuff, under control, then you're in a good place, and it helps out.
But also, I had to advocate for myself because I was like, "Oh, I'll just get my blood pressure meds refilled when I go in."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, actually, this is just a 15-minute visit. You're gonna have to schedule another appointment to do that." And I was like, "Well, I'm not doing that because all you do is take my blood pressure, go in your computer, and say refill."
Right. Come on.
And she's like, "Well, Norm," I was like,
"You're like, listen, lady. Here's the deal.
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
Take my blood pressure right now because I've been off for 2 days and tell me you're not going to give me my meds."
Right.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah. So you.
Yeah, I got them, but she's like, I was like, yeah, I'll schedule a follow up, but literally I'm here.
Sometimes you do.
Why would I do it again?
Right. Sometimes you do just have to advocate for yourself.
I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Because I'm out and my blood pressure's high.
Right. And there you go.
So.
Yes.
And it was funny because she was like, okay, well, she took my blood pressure and she's like, I'm going to give you like 10 minutes, take some deep breaths. See, I was like, it's not going to be different. That's why I told you.
I see. Yeah.
My baseline without my meds is dangerous. So
sure.
Let's go.
Get it
Give me
done.
my drugs.
Right.
Anyways.
Well,
so yeah, always stand up for yourself when you're at the doctor, and
absolutely advocate for yourself. Don't be afraid to do it.
Yeah.
If you, especially with healthcare issues, because their job is to help you identify what's going on and take the best care of yourself that you can.
Yeah.
And if you need something, ask for it.
They're just trying to get you in and out, and I'm like, nope, I'm here.
That's one of those things where it's so hard to find, like, the right healthcare provider, the right doctor, all of those things, especially when you're a bigger person. So, bravo.
Yeah.
It's great. We got to open these beers.
Okay.
So,
what did you get?
Our beers this week, we have a theme, and that theme is non-alcoholic beers.
Yeah.
Is the theme. And
Dun, 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 dun.
I am I'm going to enjoy the Guinness non-alcoholic draft malt beverage with natural flavors. Guinness Zero, I think is what it's actually called. So if you want to put that in Untapped, and I'm going to open this bad. Oh, here it goes. Oh, sorry for the slurping on the mic there, everybody. That was...
You're welcome.
Yeah. It started to...
it was foaming over.
Yes, foam. But now the foam is gone, and let's see. I'm curious how close this is going to be to actual Guinness. Close. I would say not quite as rich.
Yeah. Well,
Good.
But is the zero because it's NA or is it zero for something else?
Yeah, it's NA.
Okay. I was like, what does the zero mean?
No, not like diet beer.
I know. I was like, is that zero calorie Guinness?
Which I guess like Bud Light, Miller Light, light beers are. I guess that's.
Yeah.
I don't know, or is I wonder. Well, we're gonna have to ask somebody who knows about beers. Is that what it is?
Hey,
is it
beer person?
like Bud Light compared to Budweiser? Is it that it's a lighter flavor, or is it?
Well, what is it?
Or is it like Coke to Diet Coke?
Tastes great, less filling, 0 calories, whatever.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I was like, whatever.
All right. Well, there we go. We got the
Okay,
answer I didn't want.
I found my beer. Sorry, I was like, I can't find this.
Yeah. So I like this. It's good. It's
Guinness Zero.
Yeah, it's kind of like the best way that I can equate this as far as like compared to real Guinness is this is like if you had a like packet of Ovaltine or something.
Mm-hmm.
Say you had a packet of Guinness that you were going to pour into water.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I
Ooh,
that's kind of what I get from this. It's got that flavor. There's this aftertaste that a lot of non-alcoholic beers used to have back in the day when there were only a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So you were drinking like O'Doul's or something,
Yep.
and it was almost like this like paste glue kind of
Yep.
taste. And I know that because I ate a lot of glue as a child. So, yes. But it has a little bit of that flavor that these non-alcoholic beers
Well, that's not
have.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it, but I'm going to continue to drink it just to kind of see.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe it'll grow in you.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
what do you have?
Well, I have. It's called Galaxy Gazer IPA by Crux Fermentation Project.
Nice.
It's also a non-alcoholic brew. Contains less than blah 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 blah.
Perfect. Yeah. Crux is here in Portland, I believe.
Bend.
Bend.
Says, yeah.
Okay. Crux is there in
Wow.
Bend, I believe.
That is. Oh.
What?
Woo.
Is that woo good or woo bad?
I don't know. It's a strong. It's one of those like fresh hopped taste.
Oh,
kinda.
nice. Oh man. Oh. So
This one's also sort of watery. I'm not.
Is it like a strong IPA, like bitter?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
got that punch in the face IPA.
Oh yeah.
That like.
Man. I gotta say, I don't know that I've had a really strong non-alcoholic IPA, so
This is.
gotta give them props for
Yeah.
that.
So it's still brewed with Citra and Mosaic hops. Super refreshing and actually tastes like a hop-forward beer. It sure does. I was like, woo!
Nice.
I'm not normally a fan of the very hop-forward beers, so
Right.
that's my only,
Yeah.
yeah, the grapefruity.
Yeah, that's not really your thing. Yeah. Well, I know. We probably should have switched beers.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But good job on getting, like you said, there's not a lot of those NAs that have that hop-forward
Yeah.
punch in your face.
Yeah. That's
So
interesting.
if you like that,
That sounds like it sounds like a kind of beer that I might be.
Galaxy Gate. Do you want to try this?
I do indeed,
I was like,
actually.
you can-
Yes.
I was like, I'm not gonna.
I would very
drink
much
that.
like to try this.
I'm like, I'm not gonna drink it.
Wow. It has the phantom of an IPA, the ghost of an IPA at the first drink, and then water.
Yeah, I was like, it's like this weird watery, but it still has that. I thought it had a bunch. So
Yeah, that's interesting. I like it. I kind of like the aftertaste. It's kind of a florally grapefruity, I guess. Yeah.
Did I already? Oh, we must have already had this one because I can't add it to the list.
Oh, really? Weird. Well,
But check out our Untapped list
yes.
for all the different beers that we've had over the multitude of years of heavy conversation. See if we've had one of your favorites. You can add us as a friend or whatever and cheers us and all that fun
Please.
stuff. And see what we think of some of these beers. I don't know what I'm gonna give this one. 2, 3, 2.
Yeah. I generally, if it's something that I try and I feel like there's nothing bad about it, but there's nothing that like knocks my socks off, I generally give it about a 3.
Yeah, it was like 2.75.
Yeah. Right.
That's what you're getting from me.
Nice.
On this one.
Yeah, this Guinness this Guinness Zero I would give a 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can see our list. Tell us what you think about these beers, and please recommend some.
Yes. Our lists are starting to get. Well, I think I just need to go to that bottle shop a little bit more.
There's so many good places.
Some new stuff. But
Yeah, when I did the last beer run, it was like there
scared
were a ton of beers that looked really interesting, and so
they do have a lot of like mostly like Portland area beers, but yeah, if you just talk to them, you're like, I want something blah or something,
and they know,
they know. So which is nice. You can actually ask questions. And,
I really want to fill in some of the states that I have not yet.
Okay.
So
such
probably
as
probably the Dakotas.
Yeah.
Yeah, where else?
I can't even think of.
Have I ever had a beer from Alabama? I don't know.
I was thinking. I don't know why I was thinking Alabama too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of different states that I'll have to look. That's also why I track my beers on Untapped, is so that I can look at that and know, what's missing. What have I had? What did I like? Summer is almost over, and my friend, we need new drawers.
Yes.
Bearskin has the boxers, briefs, and jocks that you actually want to wear in the sizes that you need. And it just so happens that I have a bearskin professional, someone who knows all there is to know about bearskin right here with me, Jody.
That is my title, Bearskin Professional.
Yes. Perfect. I like that. It's a good title.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about bearskin. Why do people need to be buying bearskin?
I mean, I'm a big fan. I wear them every day. I've been wearing actually the long boxer briefs a lot lately.
Really?
They're a little bit longer, just a little bit more coverage. Been really nice. They're just like comfortable, lightweight. Like I
breathable.
Yeah, they're really breathable. I mean, it really started back in the day when I was having chub rub issues. So it came out of a desperate need myself to get some better underwear.
Sometimes the best products come out of a real need for a thing.
What was it, like 11 years ago? Yeah.
Wow. Time flies. So you mentioned breathability. So it's been hot.
Oh.
It's been very hot lately. And I know that if I'm not wearing the right kinds of drawers, it can get rough down there.
Yeah. Uncomfortable, rough.
It sounds like bearskin has a solution to that problem.
Yeah. I mean, all our underwear is a bamboo fabric blend. They're a lot more breathable, moisture wicking, all that kind of good stuff. And the boxer briefs and the long boxers also have a breathable mesh zone.
I like that.
So it gives you a little bit extra breathability right where you need it.
So it's like ventilation.
Yes.
At your most important parts. I like that. That's good. So you've got the breathability. You've got comfort and lots of size inclusivity. Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah. So we do a small to 6XL, so that's a very wide range. But we also use a lot of bigger bodies in our marketing, so that's kind of breaking us out of the norm. I like to see bodies like myself when I'm trying to make decisions about what I'm going to wear, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I want to see what it looks like on a body like mine.
Right.
And if you look closely, you've seen me model quite a few times.
Indeed, I have. Yes.
I was the in the pink backwoods sort of. What was it? Malibu doll inspired.
Yes. Very nice.
So yeah, I've modeled many times, which is fun. But yeah, just inclusivity with sizes really matters.
What's the size range?
Small to 6XL.
Love it.
Yeah. So you'll be able to find a fit that works for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the most important question. Do you have a favorite pair, print, color?
Well, like I said, I've been wearing the long ones quite a bit lately. It kind of depends on what else I'm wearing. Sometimes, yeah, I would like the what is it? The ice blue backwoods. I'm a blue sort of my color.
Nice.
So I wear that one a lot.
I like it. That's awesome.
Yeah, if those are clean, I'll go for those first.
I've got some orange ones that I really like. So it's nice that you have colors that
we do a lot of bright colors, fun prints, just to be a little bit outside of just, navy, black, and gray, because that gets boring for me.
Well, I'm sold, and I think it's time for new drawers. So if you need some new bearskin underwear, you know where to go. It's bearskin.com, BEARSKN.com. Go there, get yourself outfitted. Trust me, you'll thank us.
Yes.
Like, what did I hate? So,
Yeah.
yes. So we should probably get into the reason that we're here, the topic this week.
I mean, I'm here for the beer.
Oh, well, okay. The other reason.
Oh.
Yes. So the last month or so, last few weeks, there's been talk of positive male masculinity. A lot of it came from the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, and Gus Walz.
Yep. Sorry, I was like, what?
Yeah, and everything that kind of happened with that, where Governor Walz's son saw him up there giving his acceptance speech. When he accepted the nomination.
Yep.
And his son, 17, I believe, and he was very emotional about seeing his dad up there. And for a lot of people, I know for me, seeing that, it was an emotional moment. That's like, it's beautiful. That's the kind of thing that you want to see. And a lot of people felt that way, but there were also many other people who kind of took that as an opportunity to sort of crap on, having feelings.
Right. I mean,
and
they just had to troll on it.
Yeah. And I read an article a day or two after that was talking about how that was an example. Gus showing those emotions was an example of positive masculinity, and that's not something that we get a lot of. When you see that a lot of these men that are in the spotlight that are well known, you're seeing Elon Musk, which is, I'm not even going to go there. Or, you see these YouTubers who have turned into like UFC fighters that are horrible people, these kind of things. And we don't see a lot of positive examples of positive masculinity.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's important because, not having those when you're growing up is really important. It's important especially if you don't have that in your everyday life.
Yeah, if you don't have it at home
right.
or whatever, yeah.
To be able to see that.
Yeah, especially when you're growing up, like having those feelings are confusing and you don't know exactly what's happening. But like he is just literally excited and proud about his dad. Like it was a huge moment for a lot of people that aren't even related to this person.
Totally. Yeah.
And then when it's like your dad or like if it was someone in my family, I'd be
doing the same thing.
Freaking out, like happy and like
yeah.
Yeah, and they just like some people just make it so weird that they're hugging or they're shaking their hands too long.
Right.
And I was like,
yeah.
Who hurt you? What is wrong?
Right. And
like,
there's
I
nothing.
don't understand why you're making it. No, I didn't. No one saw anything weird.
Right.
Until you like, oh, something's weird there.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
There's nothing wrong with showing emotion, and it's important that you do. And I was definitely raised in a place and in a time where it was frowned upon to show any kinds of feelings and
stop your crying,
to be open in those kind of ways. And I mean, part of that for me, I think Chubster kind of came out of some of that. It grew out of that as a way to push back against some of those things. And it's important. And I realize the older that I get, the more important it is to be able to express your feelings and be more open. And especially like having kids that pay attention to how you respond to things.
Yep.
It's difficult, and so you realize over time you want to be more open. You want to be more supportive, open with your emotions, freer, and that, I go see my kids, doing, singing in choir or playing doing their band performances. And I'm crying right there as I watch because it's just one of those things,
You're proud of them and happy.
Of course. Yeah. And I would hope that if I were in a situation like that, which I will never be, don't worry, I'm not running for any kind of office.
But when you're up there playing your guitar,
or
drums or something, they'll be excited to see that.
Right. I would. Yeah, that's what I would hope.
Your Grammys.
Yeah. Right. When I win my Grammy, I want my kids to be proud of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just this whole thing where it's important that we have that, and we don't get enough of those role models. And so this episode is kind of the start of something that we'll probably be revisiting moving forward, which is examples of positive masculinity. And so we thought about a lot of people that, are going to come to mind for everybody that you think of. And it's like, okay, well, yes, that person. But we also wanted to include a few people that are kind of in our sort of body positive, plus size, big and tall kind of sphere. People that kind of run in that circle. Now, this is by no means an exhaustive list. In fact,
these are the only ones.
Yes. In fact, this is a very partial list. It's like, it was basically us kind of thinking about some of these. And I think the thing is that we're going to keep running into people and we're going to keep talking about people. So this is something that we will come back to in the future.
Yeah.
So
we wanted, like you said, just spotlight people that are doing good stuff. And I'm hoping that, the energy that happened sort of at the DNC, that kind of behavior kind of, as it was shown there, can kind of help it spread elsewhere. And because it felt like there was that negativity for a little bit, and then it was like everyone was like, "Are you like?"
Yeah,
that's
they pushed back against
totally
it.
Not okay.
Right?
Like, why is it bad for, like you said, a kid to show his emotion about his dad? Like,
right?
Yeah. It was like, I thought it was funny when they were like, that's either Gus became everyone's either their son or their brother, or they're like
totally
just defended him. And yeah, which I think we need to.
We do.
Got to push back on the negative stuff, the toxic behavior.
Right.
Otherwise, they're not going to change either. So
totally.
Yeah.
So we can go down some of the list of some of these people that we have here. I felt like the first person on our list, I think, is a no-brainer for just about everybody.
Okay.
And beloved by all, is by all accounts also a great person. Mr. Rogers.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So we had to start simple. You start with the best, and then we kind of branch out from there.
He definitely taught me a lot of things.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that there's saying masculinity kind of gives you this specific idea that it's like, I don't know, a nice guy that jumps off of his horse and cuts wood, and I don't know. There's this idea of what masculinity is, which is not really the only thing that masculinity is. And is and so much of it is like, is it even what it's a thing, it's a construct.
Yeah, I was
in
gonna
so
say,
many ways.
it's such a that's such a weird, like you said,
Yeah.
concept of
Yeah,
that's a whole other thing of
it is.
what is masculinity. But
That's
we're not going
yes.
to tackle that quite here today.
Different episode.
Yeah.
So so you
In
look
the broad definition of masculinity, these are people that were like,
right. But when you think about kindness and you think about caring for others and being a good neighbor and all of those things, I mean, that's Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
So, that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Even the mailman and him got along. So.
Yes, totally. So, yeah, I don't, looking at this list, I don't feel like with a lot of these people, they're no-brainers. Barack Obama, I think, if you're going to look to someone for inspiration, it's not a bad place to look.
Right.
I put Dave Grohl on the list.
Okay.
From Nirvana, Foo Fighters, all the other things that he does.
And all the other things.
When I was just thinking about people, like, for me, who I think, who stand out to me, I really like him because he's persevered through a lot of things that have been hard, and it's, it can be difficult to do that. He's also found his calling, his thing that he loves, and he's put everything into that. And, there can be good and bad with that, but it feels like, looking at the guy, it seems like he's found a good middle ground for all of that. But you look at having lost friends and bandmates and parents and all of that, and how he's persevered through that. I think that's pretty interesting. And he seems to be funny and very friendly. Volunteers. He has a whole barbecue thing where he'll do these. It's at least a yearly thing where he does this like grilling thing and barbecues for people who are less fortunate, who need food. And so he does a whole big thing there. Just a lot of really cool things with him, and I like his music, so that also helps.
Right. That helps.
So there's that. Let's see. I don't know. I feel like maybe we should jump to some of the people who are kind of more in our sphere.
Sure.
Because I mean, some of the other ones are pretty obvious. LeBron. I like LeBron because he's LeBron. So there's that. But there are some people on Instagram that I wanted to throw out before we get into some of the ones that are a little nearer and dearer to my heart. So there's a guy on Instagram. His name is Evan Slaughter, and his IG handle is fit2, the number 2, serve 1, the number 1, fit to serve 1. And he does these like silly kind of Instagram things where he's like, he's kind of a chubby guy, and he's shirtless in most of his things, and he's got like, he'll do these slow motion things like single mom run club and just these ridiculous kind of videos. A lot of different kinds of things. I'm looking here to see. I don't want to play this and have it blow out the speakers here.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's really funny. He does a lot of these like, when she says she dates only boxers, shows him, or, just these different kinds of videos. Everything's loading slowly, so I can't pull one up to show it. But he's a big guy and a bigger body, and he's not afraid to, show himself off and be out there and that single mom yoga, and he happens to be there. And it's funny because it's all these things where it's almost like the slow motion romantic thing, and it's this dude that you would never expect to see. He's like pulling off his shirt slowly and he like tosses it. and he's getting down to get ready to do yoga, stretching. He's wearing his pink shorts and his Sturgis Rally 1996 hat. It's just ridiculous. It's funny, and I didn't really think much about it until I saw a post that he put up last month. I just want to read this because I think there's a picture with it. Well, there are a few pictures with it, but it's pretty interesting here. Exactly 31 months ago from today, I overdosed on fentanyl. I woke up being revived by a paramedic in the back of an ambulance. This is the last time I abused an opiate. The first picture is a mugshot from the time I was arrested when I was at one of the worst places in my life. I had just gotten out of the army and didn't know what I was going to do in life. I was broken, addicted, and lost. There was no hope in my eyes. Fortunately, I didn't give up. I didn't throw in the towel. I was strong enough to not commit suicide, and I decided I wanted to live. I had friends and family in my life who stood by me instead of abandoning me, and they helped save my life. The last time I used 31 months ago, since the last time I used 31 months ago, my life has been unimaginable. I can't fathom sometimes the vast difference that God has brought into my life. From overdosing and basically dying to being able to use my story as a way to help others is what I consider true beauty. So I mean, it's a whole thing, and it's neat to see someone who is kind of at this place, at their lowest, kind of turn it around and, turn his life into something that was really positive. And I think it can be easy for us to think about positive role models as like squeaky clean people who have never really had, to deal with any kind of adversity. And that doesn't appeal to me.
That doesn't seem real.
Yeah. And so,
because it's like, what are they hiding? Like, why are you
right?
Not that they maybe are, but like you have to have some sort of adversity,
right,
to show your strength and your
yeah. And he's really funny. He's got all these short videos. I mean, check out his Instagram. You'll see all the stuff, and he's definitely worth taking a look at.
Yeah. Well, I have one Instagram guy that I always really enjoy.
Yes.
It's Andy. He's Andy Films and Hikes. I guess now. It took me a second to find him.
Yes, Andy Neal.
Yeah, he does all these fun like videos of him out hiking, and he's like upset that he's out there hiking for his mental health, kind of like. But then he like feels great at the end. So they're just funny to me. And he's sort of like a big guy that's out there getting fresh air, hiking for his mental health. And he, just kind of shares some of his stories, his struggles, all that kind of stuff, and how getting out there in the fresh air and hiking has helped him. So,
he is, he's really interesting. A fellow Oregonian. He actually lives in Southern Oregon. But first off, just the fact that it's a big guy who's out there hiking and living his best life doing that is awesome. He's really kind. His story is very interesting as well. He basically, you need to check out his Instagram for sure. But he left his religion and made this giant life change. And he's kind of finding his way through all of this, and it's really interesting. I interviewed him for Chubster, and his story is really compelling. I definitely, I'm glad he was on your list because that's great. He's definitely worth checking out, and he's very honest and very open with his struggles and kind of what he's dealing with and what he's going through as he's, as he's doing this and making this change. And he's really, he's taken this to be kind of his thing. He's, hiker, model, advocate.
And it looks like he has a group hike scheduled for Saturday, October 19th in Ashland, Oregon.
Yes.
So if you can see on his Instagram, there's links. You can see that. A stupid hike for mental health is what it's called. That's kind of what his little slogan is all the time. So you can join him and some friends on a hike, Green Spring Mountain Loop. I don't know how.
So here's what I'll tell.
Moderate 3-mile hike, so that's not too bad.
Here's what I'll tell you about Ashland is that it is beautiful. Every time I've driven through, I've never stopped, but every time I've driven through, it's almost like it almost looks too good to be real. Like it's beautiful.
I still think that every once in a while when I see Mount Hood from like a weird angle,
Yeah.
I'm like, because I've been here 8 years, but it's still like that's not real.
Right.
It looks too perfect sometimes.
It does.
Like the sun hits it just right, and you're like, that looks like a movie background painted somewhere. But yeah.
Yeah. So Andy's awesome, and yes, you should definitely follow him.
Yeah, raising money and awareness for mental health, with all participants encouraged to register at hikeformentalhealth.com. 80% of the proceeds go directly to mental health research, and remaining 20% supports trail maintenance. So that's cool.
Andy Films and Hikes on Instagram and andyfilmsandhikes.com.
Yes.
So there we go.
Great job, Andy.
Yes. So there are a couple other people on this list, but I'm just going to jump into the one that's really close to me, and that is Zach Miko. So Zach Miko, if you're unfamiliar with him, he is he's a model, like an actual legit male model who is a big and tall guy, and he is one of the first to be signed to a major label. I got to know him back in 2015 when I happened to see a picture of him on the Target website, and so I wrote a really quick article about Target hiding plus-size models on their site, and he found out about the article and he reached out, and so I interviewed him, and it kind of set off a sort of big thing that ended up going from him doing some kind of catalog modeling and acting. He was on some television shows to being a model and making that his thing. And it turned into a really big thing, and there was a lot of press, and it kind of went all over. And he has consistently, I've met a lot of people doing this work for Chubster, and he's consistently been one of the coolest, most down-to-earth, friendly people that I've met. He really cares about what he's doing and cares about the fact that there is not a lot of representation for bigger people out there in apparel and fashion and any of that, and kind of the core of what that gets down to. And I think it's huge to see what he's done. And I don't know, he's such a great guy, and he's always looking out for the little guy.
Yeah.
And he talks about things that are real and that are important, and I just think we need more people like him. So if you don't know his name, you've almost definitely seen him.
Yes.
So Zach Miko, ZACHMIKO on Instagram. He also has a clothing line, Miko's Official, which you should definitely check out. Swimwear, cool stuff like that. Lots of photos of Zach and other folks in swimwear on that. Oh, hey, there's me in swimwear.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. So, check it out. It's pretty cool. It's Miko's product was available on king size. So,
yep.
But no, he's awesome. The guy's great, and it's been a pleasure to know him, and to just kind of see what he's done and where he's gone. So there we go. I think
Check him out.
Need more great people like that out in the world.
Yeah. If you know some great people you want us to spotlight, shout them out to us, tag them, email us about them.
Yes.
Tell them why they inspired you or how they inspired you.
Yep.
We would love to know. I would love to know.
We would.
Yeah.
So one last thing before we go.
Uh-huh.
We're bringing back a feature that we did a long time ago. We're starting it again. It's called Thing of the Week.
Uh-oh.
So we're always doing something or seeing something. There's something that stands out to us that we need to tell you about. And so, we're back with a Thing of the Week. And
Dun, 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 dun.
I've got one. I'm just going to throw it out here because it's a thing that's made me very happy this past week. The band TV on the Radio has returned. They're back, and they are celebrating 20 years since their album Desperate Youth, Bloodthirsty Babes came out with a reissue. They're doing their first show in 5 years, first shows in 5 years, New York, L.A., London. The reissue has a couple demos, new-ish songs to us that are on it. That's great and all, but I'm mostly excited about them getting back together because literally every couple months for the last more than 5 years, I've been waiting to see if they were going to do something, checking to see if there's been any kind of update.
All that traffic on their website from you.
Yes, it's just me. This one guy in Portland, Oregon, we're getting all this traffic from one person. So
let's do a tour.
They're back. They are out there playing shows, and I'm hoping that after these 3 cities, that means a bigger tour next year or further into the fall. But
what's the closest they get?
It's L.A.
Oh,
I haven't checked to see. I have a feeling the tickets will sell out quick, so they're already on sale. So I haven't looked.
Quick little jaunt.
Yeah, but it's great. Makes me happy. Love the band. Love their music, and I want to see them live.
Awesome. I got to start doing more things so I could have a thing of the week next week.
Next week we'll come back with more. I'm sure there will be something.
Yeah.
Well, good. I feel like we covered a lot of ground this week.
Yes, we did. Well, thanks, Bruce. I appreciate you joining me again today.
I'm excited. We'll do it all again next week.
Yay. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.